It's Thursday, August 24th. This is the CBC Morning Report. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, Sade Williams created history, becoming the first Barbadian athlete to win 2 World Championship medals. Williams followed up last year's bronze medal performance in the women's 400 meters in Eugene, Oregon, United States, with another third-place performance last evening in Budapest, Hungary. Joining us live on Morning Report is the Sports Minister, Charles Griffith. Good morning to you, Minister.
Hi, good morning, Tisha. How are you?
Good to have you with us today. You must be incredibly proud of Sade's historic run.
Not just me, Tisha. The whole country is proud of that run. To do it twice back to back, I think is a special effort, and she must be commended for her performance. We're very, very pleased about what she did in Hungary.
Now, we know that there's a lot of support that goes into helping athletes like Sade, from financial and other forms of assistance that they must be afforded to be able to have them make these type of great performances. To be able to see them perform at this level, it says that it truly is a wonderful investment.
Yes, for sure. Look, I mean, preparation is expensive for any meet. And to be preparing for something as big as the world, I think that, we have to ramp up what we're doing as a government in relation to assisting Sade. Her next stop is the Olympics next year. And plans are in train to increase what we provide in terms of assistance for her.
Will there be additional assistance for her now with the Paris Olympics set for next year?
For sure. I believe that, like I said, it is necessary, it is real for her to get over that next hurdle, so to speak. And we believe that it will not only be bronze, but she will improve in terms of her performance, because the consistency is there, and I believe that with the necessary assistance coming from government, that she can go on to do even greater things.
Has your ministry and the tourism ministry met or plan to meet on the way forward for sports tourism as a product generally? And can you utilize her success in that regard?
Yes, well, we have a special relationship with the Ministry of Tourism. Sports tourism is big on the agenda coming from my ministry in terms of how we promote it. And the fact that we now have someone at the international level, recognized at that level, we definitely will see how we can work together to use her positioning at the international level to promote sports on island. So that is a yes. We're working with tourism to see how best we can build out the sports tourism product.
Are there any special plans to celebrate her achievement when she returns home?
Well, I think there will be some plans. I've had some discussions. I will be meeting tomorrow with my team at the ministry, and we look to see how best we can roll out something that is at her level to celebrate her. I don't want to say anything now because, like I said, there are plans. But yes, definitely we'll be looking to celebrate her on her return home.
And of course, this could be a win as you move forward with a new sports policy, hopefully to come to the Barbadian public in the very near future. Achievements like this one, I would imagine, will truly inform how you move forward with the level of support that you offer athletes so they're able to reach these levels.
Yes, embedded in that sports policy, we are looking to see how best we can ensure that our national athletes are not disadvantaged. Tisha, we have situations like I have mentioned before where employers are penalizing some of our athletes for representing country, and I think that that is not the way that we would want to see things. So hopefully the sports policy will address that particular issue as well.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that truly is near and dear to me is athletes being able to move forward with their talents in the area of athletics and translate that into a true career. There are not many athletes who are able to make that transition because, as you mentioned, they're not able to fully commit to sport. But hopefully with this level of success, we will be able to see some changes in mindsets across the island.
Agree. I think her success will motivate a lot of athletes, not only those in track, but those who are playing their trade in other disciplines. If Sade can do this, then we too can do that. I'm seeing like our under 14 girls who just did reasonably well in that football tournament. And I'm hoping that we can keep them together and that, World Cup is something that they're targeting in terms of their development as well. So I'm hoping that this will now trigger a whole new focus in terms of our athletes and how they treat to their particular discipline.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Minister. I know that you are extremely happy, as is the rest of the country. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, a foe of Vladimir Putin reportedly dies in a plane crash.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying you can find.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of the Russian mercenary force Wagner, was listed among 10 passengers reportedly killed when a private jet crashed north of Moscow last night. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash, which occurred exactly 2 months after Prigozhin led his fighters in a short-lived mutiny against Russia's military leadership.
New details just into CNN. Germany. And we're also now seeing just released data from Flight Radar 24 that reveals what happened in the plane's moments. The jet, according to the tracking site, leveled off at 28,000 feet, but it had erratic climbs and descents in its final minutes. And the plane dropped 8,000 feet per minute before data transmission stopped. Out front now, Mary Schiavo, former Inspector General for the U.S. Department of Transportation. Mary, thank you so much for bringing your expertise tonight. I want to play again that video of the plane that is falling out of the sky. You are an expert on plane crashes. What do you think happened looking at this video?
Well, there's so many clues here in the video. First of all, as you mentioned, it was at 28,000 feet in cruise. That's the safest part of the flight. With the seemingly missing the wing, and this simply doesn't happen. Commercial airliners, commercial planes, modern aircraft do not lose the wing. In my decades of working on plane crashes, I've only had one commercial plane that lost a wing, and it was 54 years old. And also the rate of descent, a normal rate of descent is 1,000 to 3,000 feet per minute, not 8,000. It was clearly falling. And if you look very closely at the video, you can see some other, not just the plane, but you can see some flashes, you can see other smoke, you can see debris separating from the plane. So there's just so many clues here that this was an explosion on the plane or a missile strike. But you just do not have a situation where a modern aircraft, and this airplane, I mean, I'm familiar with the Embraer. The Legacy is a modern plane, and it just never happens. You do not lose a wing from your aircraft in this day and age.
I want to take a look at what is left of the plane after it crashed. It is completely engulfed in flames. We have learned there were 10 people total on board. Russian media says at this point 8 bodies were found at the crash site so far. How hard or easy will it be to try to identify those bodies and just to know for sure, to confirm for sure that Prigozhin was on board?
Right. Well, you know, the world has a great amount of expertise in working crashes, and there are companies that do precisely this. And so if there is a cooperating investigative agency with DNA samples, it is actually, I won't say easy, but in most cases, all of the human remains are identified. It's done through DNA and other methods. And even in just a total explosion and burning situation like this, the human body has a lot of water content. In almost all cases where you have the remains, you can identify them if the investigators are inclined to work on it.
A suggestion has been made for security officers in Trinidad and Tobago to be allowed to use automatic weapons when they have to do cash-in-transit operations. The Estate Police Association believes this is necessary, as it made reference to the recent murder of a security guard, Hazley Augustine. We have a report from TTT.
Augustine and 3 colleagues were depositing cash at an RBC ATM at DS Plaza at Chin Chin Road in Canupia on August 17th when 5 gunmen, some with high-powered weapons, ambushed them. Augustine struggled with one of the men who shot him. The men then escaped.
What is happening right now, we have the criminal element. Their weapon of choice is the AR-15, which is a high-powered automatic rifle, right? And we are carrying pistols, revolvers, and shotguns. We are calling for a reversal of the policy by the Commissioner of Police because the threat level has gone up.
Mr. Richardson also added that there is a need for adequate resources and training for security officers and estate police officers. He said in many instances, security officers are given bulletproof vests to perform their duties, which are more than 5 years old. He said after that period, the effectiveness of the vests decrease.
In this industry, the vests are shared. So you find that one person will not carry, he has a vest and then he hands over that vest to another person, and there are all kind of health implications with that, right? So you find that if a vest that was effective in 2005 is being worn in 2023 and 2022.
We'll have more news, sports and weather coming up for you after this break.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the...
Shipping delays in the Panama Canal could have a negative effect on prices in Barbados. Newly elected president of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, James Clark, says the local business sector is keeping an eye on the developments. Our Trevor Thorpe has more.
The Panama Canal is a linchpin connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Delays could be between 10 and 20 days and have a significant effect on container goods. The canal system depends on lakes, which are described as dangerously low, resulting in a backup of vessels. The BCCI head says the situation can affect everything coming across the Pacific.
To what extent are the products that we buy here actually sourced from the Far East, and or are they produced in the United States, say, where we may, like especially foodstuffs, things that are grown or raised there. If they're in the continental US, I don't think we will see much of an issue.
Mr. Clark says delays to the United States will impact Barbados and the Caribbean.
What impact that will have from Barbados? I mean, we buy a lot of our foodstuffs now. These are things, if you have, say, food and products and so on coming from the Far East, and then they go into Miami, most of the shipping that goes through the Panama Canal actually is bound for the United States. I think it's over 70%. So if they have delays coming there, delays to feed the United States, then of course we can probably expect delays in certain products coming to us because of those delays going into the US.
There's a ray of hope for Barbados, but the BCCI head has stopped short of making any predictions for the coming holidays.
Most distributors and so on do have buffer stocks in place, so I don't know that you will see, and I can be corrected on this for sure because I'm not in the distribution trade, but certainly people generally have buffer stocks and so on, and it remains to be seen over the next month or two what actually happens as we draw nearer to December.
The Panama Canal is responsible for 40% of the world's cargo, 2/3 of which is headed to the United States. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Thank you, Trevor. Marijuana users are being warned about the presence of two potentially deadly drugs that are being mistaken for weed. The two substances are called synthetic cannabinoids because they mimic the biological effect of THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana or cannabis. They were discovered by the Forensic Sciences Center after local videos surfaced showing individuals using a drug with severe side effects. A sample of what appeared to be vegetable matter was handed over to officials by a member of the public for testing. Director of the center, Cheryl Corbin, revealed the findings of the tests during a brief press meeting yesterday morning.
It was being used as if it was cannabis. And obviously, because of all of the videos and everything that been circulating on social media, okay, we did the initial scientific analysis as if it was cannabis to realize there was no THC in there at all. Okay, what we found were BDMB4EN Pinica and 4-fluoro-BDMB Butica, which were the two synthetic cannabinoids that we referred to previously.
Synthetic cannabinoids are substances made in a lab using chemicals that are unfit for human consumption. Ms. Corbin has warned the symptoms of using them include seizures, sudden collapse, involuntary muscle spasms, and increased violence. Because of their potency and the inability to tell how much a person is using, Ms. Corbin says just one can be lethal. Home Affairs and Information Minister Wilfred Abrams says the development is a serious cause for concern.
This concern is buttressed by information that having been first identified in one country in May 2020. 3 months later, in August, that country had recorded 11 deaths from this SC. This speaks to not only the toxicity, but the speed with which this drug impacts individuals. To have a situation such as this develop here places an additional burden on an already challenged public health system struggling to recover from the impacts of COVID-19, as well as the health issues which have arisen as a result of natural disasters locally. I want to underscore the point that was made, that these synthetic cannabinoids have no accepted medical use in treatment. In fact, these products are usually labeled not for human consumption.
Authorities are concerned people may unknowingly take these drugs because they believe them to be marijuana. While acknowledging it's still illegal in Barbados, marijuana users are being encouraged to be careful who they purchase it from and not to let others prepare it for use. As for how to spot the synthetic cannabinoids, officials say the telltale signs are a lack of seeds, stalks, and smell in the vegetable matter. In Belize, portions of a court deposition was reportedly leaked into the public domain that could possibly pose a danger to a Belizean family. Reports are a notorious gang boss who now resides in the United States uploaded a portion of a conversation between police and an informant on social media. Now the family members of the informant fear that they might be in for retaliation. Police Commissioner Chester Williams has confirmed the material was a part of a deposition and witness protection remains an issue of concern.
Let me say that it is not a leak per se. You would know that when a person is charged, the court do order disclosure, and those information were issued as a part of a disclosure to a case. I am hoping that going forward, the courts are going to be more receptive or cooperative with these investigations, that whenever disclosures are given, that we will be allowed to blot out certain information pertinent to witnesses, not just in gang cases, but in every case that may likely cause witnesses to be threatened. We have to find a way. I know that the witness anonymity bill, which has been passed in the House, do provide the mechanism for the prosecution to be able to apply to the court in certain cases, that when disclosures are given, that we can blot out all information that may lead to the identity of the witness or witnesses. So we're hoping that we can get some enforcement to that, and it will help to protect potential as well as current witnesses. So it troubles me, certainly, as a Commissioner of Police, because we don't want to be doing things that endangers the life of people. And I would hope that when we make these applications to the court will not just look at the right or interest of the accused person, but also display that balancing act in this balancing the right of the accused to know who are the persons who are going to give evidence against him or her, with the right of the witness who may be threatened. So it is something that we will certainly put forward to the judiciary to see how, to what extent they can go in accommodating our requests in blotting out the information pertinent to the identity of witnesses.
Guyana's acting fire chief Gregory Wickham believes insurance companies should consider making it necessary for prospective policyholders to possess basic tools for fire prevention before issuing fire policies. His recommendation comes in the wake of an alarming increase in the number of fires nationwide. We hear more from HGP TV.
Fire insurance can be described as a form of property insurance that covers damages and losses caused by fire. Recent upward trajectory in the number of fires being reported has prompted Chief Fire Officer Acting Gregory Wickham to implore insurance agencies to make it a requirement that potential policy holders must be in possession of the requisite fire prevention tools before selling them insurance. According to Wickham, the fire department has been engaging insurance agencies, outlining the need for these and other requirements to be in place prior to policies being issued to clients.
It should be a criteria that they should have the basic fire suppression system, fire alarms within those properties, within those buildings, before you give them a policy covering them for $200 million.
He highlighted the impracticality of insurance companies insuring properties for large sums of monies without the proper systems in place to help prevent fires.
And then the building burned. But there was nothing in the building that could have helped to prevent the fire, or at least even to alarm, to give somebody, the occupants of the fire, notice that there is a fire, and they could have used some method to extinguish.
Just in this week alone, Ghana recorded some 14 fires. In addition, 37 persons perished in fires in the first 8 months of the year, majority of whom were children.
And of course, we're still talking about Sade Williams, who followed up last year's bronze medal performance in the women's 400 meters in Eugene, Oregon, United States, with another third-place performance last evening in Budapest, Hungary, stopping the clock at 49.60 seconds for back-to-back podium finishes. She finished behind the winner, Paulino of the Dominican Republic, in 48.76 and Natalia of Poland in 49.57.
Talitha Dix on the outside. Sade Williams, bronze last year, Commonwealth champion. She's looked magnificent en route to the final. Marilady Paulino, silvers the last 2 years. She's the favourite. Will her nerve hold? Natalia Kaczmarek of Poland, a great chance for a medal for her. Lika Klava now down in the sub-50-second club, and she'll have to do that again to get a medal. Rasida Adeleke, could she ignite the Irish fans in the stadium? She's got the talent. Candice McLeod, she's made the last 2 global finals, and Bolingo on the inside in 2. Set. The stadium ignites into a huge roar as we look to see who makes the early running. Klava closing down Kaczmarek, but she always goes out hard, the 200-meter specialist. The difference is this year, she usually finds the stamina to hang on. Adeleke is a little way behind, but she saves her best for the end. Paulino now coming up onto the shoulder of Sade Williams of Barbados. Klava still running well. Watch for the Irish woman, but she's got a lot to do. Head rocking and rolling. Paulino leading. Klava in second. Striding away from the best of the rest. The double silver medalist is about to taste the best colour of all. It's gold for Paulino, silver for Kaczmarek, and a bronze again for Sade Williams. She was denied in Tokyo, she was denied in Eugene, and with a massive, massive performance and a lifetime best, she is the champion of the world.
Of course, Barbadians were glued to their devices yesterday as they watched the race unfold. Those who we spoke with were ecstatic about the result.
Not a representative, not only that, but she from the Ponto, my figured, and she got bronze with G's on brothers. They're going to keep something big for she when she come home.
I'm elated to know a girl from the Point can actually get in the finals and actually medal and come in third. That's great for the Pointers community and also Barbados and the West Indies as well.
Obviously, you know, it was a little intense, but I was like, all right, is she going to come second? Is she going? And then when I saw, I felt really proud. I'm really proud of her.
Shade, my big up, man. Very proud and fussy because her quality and her build up before the event, World Championships, was just superb. So she has not disappointed. She made us all extremely proud. Happy big up, Shade. And we hope that she's an inspiration to other athletes coming up and a good reward to her coaches and her handlers for having done such a wonderful job.
Oh, I am very, very, very proud. You know, I wish we had come first or second, but a medal is a good medal for Barbados. I am very happy for Sade, and I wish her all the best, that she gets better and better and better and better, and proud to be a Barbadian, to see a Barbadian up on that podium.
I feel good and feel good for Barbados. I thought it was another great achievement for Barbados. She ran a very good race. It was very competitive. She gave it her all. I thought that she, gave a tremendous performance in terms of based on the field that she competed against. It was really magnificent.
The fact that even Barbados got there in the final and she did all she hard work and stuff like that. Yeah, proud that she getting bronze. I see she get a little, when 300 stretch there, she get a little tired, but she pushed straight. She get bronze, and that's good.
Of course, Barbadians are sports analysts all around. Hey, let's take a look at the weather. The barometric pressure stands at 1010.9 millibars. Air temperature 27.6 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is at 86%. And the winds are blowing out of the southeast at 7 kilometers per hour. Present weather is cloudy. Sea conditions moderate in open water with northerly swells ranging from 1 to 1.5 meters. Here's a look at how the tides roll in for today. And the general forecast for Barbados. A mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional scattered light to moderate showers, mainly over northern and western districts. Into the evening, you can expect mostly cloudy conditions with clear breaks with the occasional scattered light showers. That's our newscast of Newsday today. We have another newscast coming up at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 on our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Thank you so much for joining us. Morning Barbados is next. Stay tuned.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning. It's Thursday, August 24th. I almost had a blunder on that one. Had to think about it for a minute, but it's so good to have you in company with us today on this beautiful Thursday. I don't know about you, but I think it's going to be a good day today. My name is Tisha Hines, and I'm going to be here until 8 o'clock or so. So I expect we're going to have a good time together as long as you can stick around. A special good morning to those of you still on holiday. You're so lucky, especially if you're on holiday from work. No suggestions from me. But I know a few people who are going off on holiday, a few people who might be finishing up a great holiday. Whatever the case is, make sure you enjoy it to the max. Of course, the little ones who are transitioning into secondary school, I know you're very excited, getting ready. Those who are going back and moving up to different levels. Maybe you weren't able to make it to the next level. That's okay. Just make sure you go back and do your very best, all right? And that's all that everybody expects of you. So today we're going to be taking a look at a few very interesting things as we talk to you about the Community Independence celebrations with Anderson Rollock, chairperson of the St. Lucie Parish Independence Committee, and Shamilis Canterbury, she's the PRO as well. They're talking to us about the promotion of the talent shows coming up in the various zones that you absolutely must be a part of, or maybe someone you know, because we want to bring out the best of talent from across the island for the shows, which will be coming up pretty soon. So make sure you get out and be a part of it. Today we're also featuring a number of exceptional youth. You won't want to miss that as well. A big group, they're coming through to share with us. Stephen Sobers, who's the contingent lead of the 25th World Scouts Jamboree. He's going to join us, but we're going to have a whole set of scouts who attended right here in studio. Of course, you know, they'll have some stories to share. They were in South Korea, and it was record heat in South Korea. And then, of course, a natural disaster was looming, and really exciting for scouts. They can just imagine these stories that we'll be able to get out of them as they come through Morning Barbados today to share. Plus, another exceptional youth, Jaden Jordan, a cricketer of the Alexandra School, will be here to share with us too. We absolutely want to hear from him. He says he loves fishing and cooking and a lot of wonderful things that our young people love. So we're going to be talking to him about that. Plus, we're going to share a very popular segment that was featured a little bit earlier this week about a young man. We've got such rave reviews about it that we decided to go ahead and share that with you. So today is really all about youth, and the first segment is absolutely no different. So help me welcome Dimitri Hoyt, who is a former student of the St. Michael's School, and Jennifer Burrows, who is also a former student of SMS, and they are volunteers with Camp Transition. So they're here to tell us more about that. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Good to have both of you with us. All right, so start by telling me, I'm going to start with you, Jennifer, how you got involved with Camp Transition.
Yes, so I am a past student of the St. Michael's School, and I would have worked alongside Mrs. Margaret Grant, who is the guidance counselor there for quite a number of years. And so she would have invited me to come and be a volunteer and a facilitator of Camp Transition. And so it was a wonderful week. It was last week from August 14th through the 18th, and we had about approximately 50 students who were ranging from the age groups of going into secondary school up to ages 16, 17. And so Dimitri and myself, we were volunteers and facilitators for the senior group, and that was aimed at helping the older secondary students figure out what types of careers they would like to go into and understand their self a little bit more.
Oh, that's a lot of work. Dimitri, what about you? You know, how do you feel like you fit in and were able to impart some of the knowledge you've gained through the transitions you've done from primary to secondary and now moving on from secondary?
Well, like Jennifer said, you know, we were the facilitators for the senior group, and I just finished sixth form. I just graduated it was July. So I feel like I have the more recent knowledge and very recent experience that I could impose to the senior group and to be able to help them make that transition in a more current environment and atmosphere.
What are some of the areas that you felt like you kind of had to hone in on that maybe a lot of people don't share when you're not a part of, you know, a sixth form environment as yet? Sometimes as students, we're looking forward to certain things, and then once you get in it, it's kind of different expectations. I would imagine that's what you were preparing them for.
Yes. I think one of the things is that big transition from 5th to 6th form. You move from doing like 9, 10, 11 subjects that you take for CSET to doing the 4. And many students assume, okay, I'm only doing 4 subjects now, so it's going to be much easier. But actually, it's going to be much more
harder.
demanding for you because each of those subjects have 3 separate modules. So you're kind of almost doing the same volume of work as if you were doing 12 subjects. And it's not as easy to get 1 at CAPE or 2 at CAPE as it is to get a 1 at CSET, because there's much more required of you, such as the ability to critically analyze what you're now seeing and even interpret and understand, whereas I think at CSET requires more for you to memorize and regurgitate. So that was one of the things. And then a second thing I would mention is just being prepared and mindful of the careers that they may want to go into. Some of them know and some of them don't know, and it's okay when you're 15 or 16 to not have it figured out, because, you know, I know people who are my age, 24, 25, who are still trying to figure out what they want to do, but also just making them aware of the endless possibilities that exist within the career domain. You know, we know the main accountant, lawyer, but you can go into cosmetology, you can go into theater arts, you can explore your passions of, you know, being an artist, you know, and there's so much out there. And that was one of the things that Camp Transition explored, because we had a career showcase on the last day where the students were able to talk to those within maybe the fields that they want to go into, or they just became more aware of what exists.
Dimitri, I know that law is your career of choice.
Yes.
To what extent did career showcases help to dictate, you know, your love for law or wanting to do the career, or did it? Because I know for some students, career showcases really are a great way for them to see various professions, some of which they didn't even consider before they were exposed to them.
Yeah, I can definitely speak to that because from the time I was young, singing and music has always been my passion, and it still is. However, you know, as the years went on, I said to myself, you know, in case that doesn't work out, I have to make sure that there's something else that I can do. And that's when I, you know, gained my passion for law, and I realized, you know, I'm good at this, and I really like it. So I started to explore the options a little more, and that's where the passion came from. And now I am about to go to the University of West Indies to pursue that passion.
That's excellent. You're going to have a great time there. So it's a transition for you as well.
It is.
Absolutely. So you're in transition and sharing what you've learned. That must have been a wonderful experience for you.
It definitely was.
And with you, Jennifer, I know that you also founded Daughters Arise. You were here on Morning Barbados to tell us all about its success. You've been a peer supporter at the SMS school as well. So this really has been your life's work, so to speak, sharing with others. Talk to us about your passion in that area.
Well, yes. So in terms of transition, I would have received a scholarship in 2016 to study at the United World College, which is in Norway. And that is a group of schools worldwide that uses education as a mission, as a force to unite peoples, nations, and cultures. And subsequently, I would have gone on to the University of Oklahoma. So in the 6 years between 2016 to 2022, they were all transitions for me. I experienced different transitions from, being amongst new cultures, to being in a different part of the world, to being in a different climate and experiencing different weathers, to having different academic workloads and them changing and meeting new people. And so I have been in stages of transition, I would say, for the past 7 years and even before. And so, it's a blessing when I'm able to just share from my experiences and help the youth to be prepared for the different transitions that they're going to experience, because not everybody's process is easy and we all face different challenges. Some of us are going through personal challenges, and there are external challenges as well, but just helping persons to navigate that, it's a part of my passion.
Absolutely, and we can tell that it really is. It flows off your tongue, your very being. For you, Dimitri, how do you think you've been able to assist a few people heading into sixth form? I'm sure that you shared a few tips and tricks of the trade.
Yeah, well, like I said, I just graduated, so I would have the recent knowledge. Essentially, I just try to make them aware of a few things heading into sixth form, because like you said, they will have the expectations, they will have certain things in their heads going into it. And, I try to work with them to tell them, if it's true, if it's not true, what do you need to look out for, what do you need to do, little tricks and tips, like you said, to make sure you get the most out of the experience. And I just think that me being young and recent graduate was able to help them, because, going into sixth form, it can be very nerve-wracking. I know I was nervous when I was about to do it. So any chance that I got to help them calm those nerves at any point, I was happy to take it.
What about you, Jennifer, especially for younger ones? I know you guys worked with the senior students, but for the younger ones, how important do you think it is to be able to help them make that transition from being the big ones in their primary school to being the little ones at a secondary school?
Yes, it is a huge transition. It's significant. Not only are they now going to be the babies, as you mentioned, but they're going to be doing about 12 to 14 subjects compared to the 3, 4, 5 that they would have been doing in primary school, because they are the younger ones, they are usually the targets of bullying and violence. And this is not just limited to the physical violence, but this is also including cyberbullying as well. And I think these are things that parents need to be mindful of. In addition to that, these students would have spent 8 to 9 years among specific people, and now they are leaving their friends, their teachers, and many of them have to now navigate separation anxiety and now have to learn all over again how to make new friends, how to have a conversation, how to reach out to a teacher. They're not just going to have that one class teacher anymore, but now it's 12 to 13 different teachers, and how to form relationships with them. So I would say this is something that parents should be mindful of and have these initial conversations with their students before they even enter the doors of their new school coming September. And we know Mrs. Grant has the book called Entering Secondary School, and I would recommend that each parent who has a child entering secondary school to get that book, because it won't only provide the strategies for the students, but it also has helpful tips for the parents, Parents have to now know how to have conversations with the teachers, how to find out if your child is doing okay, You don't just want to go into secondary school and attend the parent-teacher meeting and hear what the teacher has to say, but there are questions that you can ask to really get some insight into how your child is really doing. And so getting that book would be one of the things I would recommend, but also just preparing your child by speaking to them and talking to them and letting them know that you are there. Some of them are going to be overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed when I entered secondary school. My mom would always say she remembers me just feeling so overwhelmed in my first week. And so these are things to look out for and expect that the changes are going to be a lot, but also just be present for your child as they cope with this new transition.
That definitely is some great advice. And you also mentioned that at this stage, children might not only be battling with or having to deal with bullying, but cyberbullying as well.
Yes.
With that said, there's still somewhat of a hybrid approach to the way that we engage with each other, with our teachers, and how we engage at the secondary level as well. So I know that you guys were imparting some knowledge about technology, for example, and how they're able to organize themselves and things of that nature, Dimitri. So some of the apps that you possibly were able to use, or best practice from some of your friends as they transition from 5th to 6th form, as they transition from secondary to tertiary level, and so on, to be able to help them.
Yeah. So there are a number of apps out there that everyone can use to organize themselves better. There's Google Calendar, which I know would be very helpful with the school email and being able to sync your assignments and due dates with the calendar. There's the regular calendar app that every phone comes with, that you can also do that with. And one for Samsung phones, which I use personally, is Reminder, and that comes with the phone. And one thing that I do is I put the little widget, I put it on my home screen, and whenever I have an assignment or some sort of reading that I have to do, I will put it there. I will set my personal due date like 2 days in advance, so I'm not trying to scramble the day before. And so whenever I open my phone, I go into my phone, it's right there, so I don't forget. And you know, the thing is, the apps are out there. We just need to find them and use them to our advantage.
All right, I want you to speak to parents now. What are we missing a lot of the times? I know that you spoke extensively about how the book can help parents, but coming from people who've recently transitioned, you a little bit more, Jennifer, having gone through tertiary level and I would imagine postgraduate already. Those, as you mentioned, are some major transitions. Sometimes as parents, we don't necessarily listen as closely as we should, and there are many things that we miss. So in closing, I would like for you to speak directly to parents about some of the things they really need, or we need to pay very close attention to be able to lend that level of support that's needed for children to successfully transition across the board.
Yes. So for primary school, I know I would have spoken to this before, but something just to add there, parents teach your children about puberty. Have those conversations with them about puberty and sex. Otherwise, someone else is going to teach your child, right?
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you, while teaching these topics, you also instill into them your values and your morals regarding them as well. I would say parents, just be present, ask your child. Every single student will come home and say, oh, I don't have homework today. But I know one of the things that Mrs. Grant would always say is that you have homework that the teacher would have given you, and you have homework that you have to set for your own self to study, you know? So always make sure that, you know, you're asking about homework. How are you doing? Do you need extra help? Do you need extra lessons? How can I support you? You know, I think just support all throughout at each stage. Students like to know that their parents are willing to support them, that they're willing to be present, you know, and, you know, give them advice and counsel. So that is one thing that I would say all throughout, and just making sure that you go the extra mile as best as you can to help them to get the extra resources that they need.
You, Dimitri.
I mean, Jennifer pretty much said it all. I think one of the most important things is just being present for your child and picking up on certain things that you might see in them, because we all need that support. Going through these big transitions, we always need that support to make sure that we can weather the storm, essentially. And I think that just being there for your child, talking to your child, having those conversations, like Jennifer said, is one of the most important things, because, you know, sometimes we just need to talk to somebody. Sometimes we just need to let it all out, and we need to know that it's okay to be feeling whatever it is we're feeling. So I think being there for your child and just talking to them, I would say every day, because my mom, whenever I come home, she always asks me, how's your day? What did you do today? And stuff. And that conversation that we have, it always just makes me feel better, and it makes me feel heard. So I think just being there and being present is very, very important.
Of course, sometimes we don't believe that you feel like you want to talk to us at all, because it's like, not again today. Must you bother me? Must you knock on my door? Well, even though it's in parents' house. Must you interrupt this very, very important game I'm playing on this computer? just being bad, but I know that sometimes, especially particularly as we move into the teen years, there can be certain things that kind of separate parents. So it's very important to kind of hone in, as you said, really hold tight and be there for your children. I want to thank you so much, Dimitri Hoyt and Jennifer Burrows, both former SMS students. Go Cougars! All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I hope you take all of what they told you to heart. As you have your little ones transitioning, make sure that you stay present and keep on talking to them. That's important. Coming up, we tell you what's happening with the Parish Talent Competition with the Community Independence Celebrations Secretariat. All that and more is next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
98.1 to 1 is more than a station. We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners. And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back. By so quickly, just about 5 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. I have to share this one with maybe my contemporaries and people a little bit older. Madonna celebrated her 65th birthday this week. Can you believe it? 65. Madonna is one of those pop icons who, we've really grown up on. Lots of her music for people who love pop, and it's very interesting to see this pop stars reach those kinds of figures. Very, very interesting. And speaking of pop stars, we are moving across the country and absolutely looking for talent. So we have to committee and Shamila's Canterbury, who's the PRO of that committee as well. And they are coming on today to talk to us about the zonal talent competition. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys obviously didn't get the memo. The greeting, every time that you're talking to somebody from St. Lucie, they have to say, greetings from the north.
Greetings from the north.
Greetings from the north.
Welcome. So first of all, Anderson, talk to me about how things are shaping up as you try to kind of trump up some support from amongst your fellow St. Lucie residents to get them out and be a part of the parish talent competition.
Yes, thank you. We have a parish talent subcommittee that would have been working extremely hard this year. That would have gone out and reached out to persons to see their interest in taking part in this year's talent show. Then we also, once we got those persons locked down, we would have sought to have some in-house training and rehearsals and given the tips and bits that they would need to utilize for the coming show. And we've also had our parish ambassador team going out in our regular Community Connect program, spreading the word about our programs this year and getting persons to come and support this talent show this Saturday. But the thing about it is that this show this weekend is the zonal talent show, where it encompasses the North, St. Lucie, St. Peter, St. James, and St. Andrew. So we've been out there in the communities, in the schools, in the churches, wherever, looking for persons, running our ads on our social media platforms to get persons involved.
Excellent stuff. Shamila, talk to me about whether you've been seeing people really interested at this level. I know only 2 people will go forward from each parish, and I'm sure that will be a challenge.
Well, yes, so far we have, we started out booming. We had a lot of people interested in going, but because we had to trim down the numbers, we do have like 5 contestants going forward. But in terms of people to support, we have a lot of people to support, especially the younger children. I work with a lot of teenagers, and I see a lot of teenagers talking about the show this weekend. Oh, I want to go to Daryl Jordan School because they hear there's a show there. So to see that level of participants of the people who do the show and those who want to spectate is really nice to see that.
Absolutely. Now, I know that Anderson, for the event that will come off on the 28th, you're also calling out residents, like Shamila said, to come out because you do have something going on another day, though, that you're encouraging residents to come out. So I know that's on the 26th, but let's skip forward and talk about the event that is coming up on the 28th and then double back.
Yes. Well, on the 28th, this is in connection with our parish project. Our project this year is focused on health and wellness, building and nurturing for a healthier tomorrow. So we're focusing on the 8 dimensions of health and wellness. Just to list a few, you have spiritual, intellectual, physical, occupational, financial, and so on. And what we're doing this Monday at the St. Lucy's Post Office, this one's for you. This is for the residents, the seniors, as they come to, it's a pension day affair, as they come to, change their pension checks. And, sometimes for these persons, it's every 2 weeks that they see each other and they interact. What we're doing is that we're going to give them some free blood pressure and blood sugar testing, some nutritional advice. We're going to have some plain manicures done by one of our entrepreneurs that we would have linked with over the years. Her name is Shari. And we're going to have some light neck and shoulder massages for our pensioners. This will be done by our very own female parish ambassador, Destiny Cummins. So this is just a give back to the residents, to the pensioners, because we can't only focus on the young and those in between. Those pensioners are the ones who are the bedrock who would have built and established this country and by extension our parish. So we just want to give back to them this coming Monday from 9:30 until about midday. But I believe that we may be able to go a little bit further depending on the numbers and the persons that will be coming to the post office.
All of the activities that you're going to be offering, I'm sure they're going to be very appealing to the people who are going to be coming out. You're absolutely wrong for calling it a pension day affair, though.
Apologies, but
that's hard.
I love it. Pay me no attention. I love it. So it's an opportunity for people to come out as they come, as you mentioned, to pay, to change their pension checks or do business at the bank, as the case may be, get their blood pressure and blood testing, nutritional advice by a registered nutritionist, manicures, a neck and shoulder massage. It truly is going to be a fantastic day. But I know that you want to close by encouraging everyone to come out on Saturday, August 26th, to the Daryl Jordan Secondary School from 6 o'clock to support or be a part of the parish talent competition. Really, it's a zonal competition where people are going to be coming out to represent for their parishes. This is the Northern Zone, and only 2 people move forward to represent St. Lucy. So we definitely look forward to all the excitement that will be at the school this weekend. I wish you guys the very best on both events.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, yes. Thank you. A pension day affair. Thank you, Anderson Rawlock and Shamila Scantlebury of the St. Lucy Parish Independence Committee. Make sure you get out this weekend if you are in the St. Lucy area or the northern zones and be a part of the competition. Hey, we have an update of the news coming your way.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why? Cometh the hour, cometh the Ugandan. Holloway defends his title. Glorious goal to Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's Thursday, August 24th. It's time for an update of the news. We start with news that police are investigating a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a man early this morning. The Barbados Police Service is reporting its Hastings Worthing police station received a call about 2:30 where the caller reported a man was shot and appeared to be dead. The incident took place in the area of the Dover kiosks in Christchurch near the beach. Police officers responded and were able to confirm the report. A medical doctor visited the scene and pronounced dead. Anyone who may be able to assist the police service in identifying the deceased individual may contact personnel at the Hastings Worthing police station in person or by phone. Police are also appealing to the public for information pertaining to this incident, and they're asking anyone who might have witnessed it or if you have any information to contact the Hastings Worthing police station at 430-7615 or 430-7614. Police emergency at 211 or any other police station. Shipping delays in the Panama Canal could have a negative effect on prices in Barbados. Newly elected president of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, James says the local business sector is keeping an eye on developments. CBC's Trevor Thorpe has more.
The Panama Canal is a linchpin connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Delays could be between 10 and 20 days and have a significant effect on container goods. The canal system depends on lakes, which are described as dangerously low, resulting in a backup of vessels. The BCCI head says the situation can affect everything coming across the Pacific.
To what extent are the products that we buy here actually sourced from the Far East, or are they produced in the United States, say, where we may, like especially foodstuffs, things that are grown or raised there? If they're in the continental US, I don't think we will see much of an issue.
Mr. Clark says delays to the United States will impact Barbados and the Caribbean.
What impact that will have from Barbados? I mean, we buy a lot of our foodstuffs now. These are things, if you have, say, food and products and so on coming from the Far East, and then they go into Miami, most of the shipping that goes through the Panama Canal actually is bound for the United States. I think it's over 70%. So if they have delays coming there, delays to feed the United States, then of course we can probably expect delays in certain products coming to us because of those delays going into the US.
There's a ray of hope for Barbados, but the BCCI head has stopped short of making any predictions for the coming holidays.
Most distributors and so on do have buffer stocks in place, so I don't know that you will see, and I can be corrected on this for sure because I'm not in the distribution trade, but certainly people generally have buffer stocks and so on, and it remains to be seen over the next month or two what actually happens as we draw nearer to December.
The Panama Canal is responsible for 40% of the world's cargo, 2/3 of which is headed to the United States. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Marijuana users are being warned about the presence of two potentially deadly drugs that are being mistaken for weed. The two substances are called synthetic cannabinoids because they mimic the biological effect of THC, which is the main psychoactive ingredient in marijuana or cannabis. They were discovered by the Forensic Sciences Center after local videos surfaced showing individuals using a drug with severe side effects. A sample of what appeared to be vegetable matter was handed over to officials by a member of the public for testing. Director of the center, Cheryl Corbin, revealed the findings of the tests during a press briefing yesterday morning.
It was being used as if it was cannabis. And obviously, because of all of the videos and everything that being circulated on social media, okay, we did the initial scientific analysis as if it was cannabis to realize there was no THC in there at all. Okay, what we found were BDMB4E and Pinica and 4-fluoro-BDMB Butica, which were the two synthetic cannabinoids that we referred to previously.
Synthetic cannabinoids are substances made in a lab using chemicals that are unfit for human consumption. Ms. Corbin has warned the symptoms of using them include seizures, sudden collapse, involuntary muscle spasms, and increased violence. Because of their potency and the inability to tell how much a person is using, Ms. Corbin says just one dose can be lethal. Home Affairs and Information Minister Wilfred Abram says the development is a serious cause for concern.
This concern is buttressed by information that having been first identified in one country in May 2020. 3 months later, in August, that country had recorded 11 deaths from this SC. This speaks to not only the toxicity, but the speed with which this drug impacts individuals. To have a situation such as this develop here places an additional burden on an already challenged public health system struggling to recover from the impacts of COVID-19, as well as the health issues which have arisen as a result of natural disasters locally. I want to underscore the point that was made, that these synthetic cannabinoids have no accepted medical use in treatment. In fact, these products are usually labeled not for human consumption.
Authorities are concerned people may unknowingly take these drugs, believing them to be marijuana. Now, while acknowledging it's still illegal in Barbados, marijuana users are being encouraged to be more careful who they purchase it from and not to let others prepare it for use. As for how to spot these synthetic cannabinoids, officials say the telltale signs are a lack of seeds, stalks, and smell in the vegetable matter. And that's our update of news. Remember, we're going to have another newscast for you at 12 noon here on TV 8. Also, we have The World at 1 following that on our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 94.7 FM, and 98.1 The One. Morning Barbados continues after this. Stay tuned.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. CBC is celebrating 60 years of broadcasting in Barbados. A friend and a helping hand in the community. CBC, connecting Barbadian communities. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. 14 minutes now after 7 o'clock. I told you some wonderful young people were coming to spend some time with me today. And boy, are we going to have a good time in studio. We had to kind of clear the furniture out and get them in here with me to share a little bit. Standing next to me is Nikolai Downs. Now, the Boy Scouts sent an 8-member contingent to the 25th World Scouts Jamboree in South Korea. And the trip was a very eventful and successful one. So we have welcomed some of the scouts who were a part of that experience to come share with us. Online, we also have Stephen Sobers, who is the contingent leader for the 25th World Scouts Jamboree. He is going to come in on the conversation and share with us. So let's start with Nikolai Downs, who is a part of the Barbados Boy Scouts Association. Tell me about how you feel about being able to participate in this year's Jamboree.
Well, it was definitely a lucky thing. Not many people are able to experience this. It's a very once in a lifetime experience to be able to go across the world like that and meet new people is very different.
Talk to me about the differences.
Well, when they went there, the roads, I think the roads were very different. It was like a lot wider. You could see that they were more architecturally advanced than us as a small place. So yeah, that was the main difference.
All right, good stuff. Now we're going to move on. So you take the mic and tell me your name.
Hi, my name is Sergio Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, talk to me, Sergio, about what made you want to join the Scouts first of all.
Well, I just wanted to move on from Cub Scouts to the next level, so I joined Scouts because of that mainly.
Yes, and these are a lot of badges. All of you have lots of badges. Talk to me about what you've been able to do through the years to get so many badges.
Well, I've just done the work that my Scout leader, Mr. Stephen Sobers, has given me to do and completed it well.
Talk to me about going to South Korea. That must have been exciting. Long flight. Yeah?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the flight.
The flights to South Korea were very enjoyable, comfortable mostly, and the food was very nice too as well on the Korean air flights. And the flights back were less comfortable but still enjoyable.
All right, who's next to you, Sergio?
Devon.
Devon. All right,
yes,
so tell me about your trip to South Korea. What was most exciting for you?
I would say the anticipation of getting there was probably the most exciting part.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He definitely looks like he had to be. He's not one of these people who's easily excited. He's like, the anticipation. All right, so let's bring in Stephen Sobers, who's the contingent leader. Now, I know that there were some looming challenges. It was pretty warm. A lot of people mentioned that we are indeed from the tropics. So, we're accustomed to the heat. It's been a little warmer here. But in the international press, there were a lot of countries who seemingly were very, very nervous about it. I know the Americans and those from the UK were complaining about pulling out their scouts and things of that nature. So, Mr. Sobers, talk to me about this year's Jamboree and all that you expected and then how it turned out. Welcome.
And before we left Barbados to go to South Korea, we had a lot of discussions on what to expect. We did our research into the weather conditions at this time of the year, and we were basically prepared for what we expected to be a relatively good jamboree. One of the major challenges that we experienced when we got there is, as everybody would know, the heat. It was very, very hot. It was actually hotter than Barbados. However, the first 2 days, as the international press would have focused, it was challenging for all countries attending the jamboree. One of the into the second and into the third day, things started to become a little bit easier. There was more water being provided. They were providing things like ice cream and so on to keep the participants cool. Outside of that, the activities that the contingent participated in was relatively good. As I would have mentioned when we returned, we were able to twin with a contingent from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and also participants from Belize. So having our neighbors, so to speak, it made, I guess, life a little more comfortable as it related to the contingent. Outside of that, yes, we had the onset of the typhoon, which was approaching the Korean Peninsula, and obviously that when we were really into the mood of Jamboree, that basically, kind of threw a tailspin into the event. I must say that the intervention of the Korean government, having relocated the contingents to locations where we were located, we were able to participate in some meaningful activities. I think the boys would attest to that. The accommodations were excellent, and also the activities that we participated in were relatively good.
Oh, that's excellent news. Now let's come back in studio. Kamar Williams, talk to me about your experiences in South Korea.
To me, it was a very wonderful experience getting to meet new people, try new foods, explore different countries, because we in Barbados and we don't often get to travel, and it was a wonderful experience, except for the walking.
Except for the walking? What walking are you talking about?
To get to the activities, we had to do a little bit of walking. It was not as warm as you would think. So
it was a little cooler outside? I thought it was warm because of the conditions. It was hotter or it was colder?
It was hotter.
It was hotter.
Yes, please.
So the walking in the heat, I imagine that could present some challenges as well. Introduce me to the young man next to you.
Next to me is Ryan Arthur.
That was so quick. I didn't even hear what he said. Xavier? And
Zarian.
Okay, Zarian. You just wanted to get rid of that mic. Okay, tell me about your experience, Zarian.
If I have to be honest, as much as everybody had it so bad, it wasn't actually a bad experience. It's just that the heat and, waking up in the morning to go do work and stuff. But other than that, it was a good experience because, you don't really get to walk around and just get a ticket or get someone to tell you, or they can take you to South Korea, or you get to South Korea maybe next week, get your passport and everything ready. So, being honest, I actually had a good time, not just doing things by myself, but doing things with all the boys.
Yeah.
But if I had to go back again, I will go back again.
That's wonderful. And I would imagine that you guys made some great friends as well.
Yes, please. We were in a sub camp with St. Vincent and Belize.
And introduce me to our next friend.
Xavier Edwards.
All right, Xavier Edwards. Talk to me about your experience at the Jamboree.
It was quite enjoyable. Trading with other countries and stuff, making friends, going to other sub camps and seeing what other countries are like. It was quite an enjoyable experience.
All right, I am hearing that from all of you. It's really a pleasure as we share some of the great photos of you guys engaging and interacting with Scouts from indeed all around the world. Introduce me to who's next to you.
This is Kirsten.
Hi. All right, talk to me about how you felt about going to South Korea for the Jamboree.
With my Jamboree experience, I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun there. Granted, it was really hot, but compared to the heat, having I guess experience more with different cultures and meeting other people and the heat, like Xavier said, the trading, all that kind of, I guess, overshadowed the heat and all the bad experiences. So with that being said, it actually made the jamboree feel a little bit, I guess, more lively. And like my friend Nikolai and Kamar have said so far, it was a one-time experience. So if I had opportunity to go again, I definitely take the chance.
Wow, that's wonderful. It must have been a really great experience to be able to travel with your friends. It's always exciting to be able to travel with friends and meet new friends. So talk to me about how you felt about engaging with new people. I heard that you were able to share space with some Caribbean neighbors as well. So what was that experience like?
Well, it was wonderful getting to meet people outside of your country, but still in your own parameters. Meeting other people from the Caribbean, it was great. We were really close with the Vincentians, so we would have done all our activities with them. We became close with their leaders, and we're still in connection with the Scouts.
For you, what was the most exciting thing that happened on that occasion? Whether it's the fact of a looming typhoon, how hot it was outside, meeting new people, doing wonderful activities. I certainly was keeping up with what you were what you had happening there in South Korea. So I know that you guys had lots of activities going on all around you.
Yeah, that is really true. The typhoon was seen as a bad thing, but it was a blessing in disguise. Because of the heat, we were unable to do many activities at the Jamboree site. So moving away from the physical Jamboree site to another site, we got to do a lot more fun activities. Me personally, I got to experience fencing. It was very interesting.
What were some of the new exciting things you got to experience there?
Off Jamboree site, when we reached the campus that we were staying at, during that time we got to experience different activities like fencing, as well as archery. Me and the boys actually had a very fun time playing a sport that we never knew about called badminton, which is basically just war tennis but with a longer racket. we have
to say that. You just described badminton as road tennis with another racket. You know you're gonna get into trouble for that, right?
Yeah, I know. we also got to play a little bit of table tennis as well, and I believe we also went to a few museums to learn about the history of how Korea got set to technology advancement. So it was really enjoyable and an interesting time.
What about you, Zarian?
Nikolai.
Sorry, Nikolai.
Right, as he said, badminton. I would like to regard myself as the best player out of these eight.
Now you know you're telling lies.
I think that I was the best player, personally. Okay, I think I was the best.
Is it there? Cause you get me or Sergio beat yes, you can't be the best.
Anyways, I had a good time with the activities. We also did some Korean traditional games. A lot of people may know the one from Squid Game where they put like one on the ground and then they slap it and then they flip over. I did that one. I was also the best at that again.
So you can just
I did some
everything?
archery as well, which I did the best at again. Okay.
Where we go?
I had a good time.
You guys had a really good time. I want to bring Mr. Steven Sobers in again. It must be a really difficult time to be able to kind of navigate, really just taking care of all these boys. I would imagine it's exciting too, but I mean, so many different personalities and so on. As a Scout leader, let me commend you first of all on the work that you do, you and your entire team, because I know it's a team effort. Would love to hear from you. About your thoughts generally, how you as a Scout leader were able to take it all in heading off to South Korea.
Right. Thank you for your compliment. We did a lot of pre-planning. It was mainly to get the guys together. Obviously, they are coming from different groups, so and with different characteristics. So we did have 2 pre-camps before we actually left. They gave me an opportunity to see each person's strength, each person's weakness. But that is in the Barbadian environment. When we got over to South Korea, obviously then there were some things that we had to rethink, and obviously see where we could have fit persons into their own area of confidence. What I can commend the guys on is that they did very well, taking into consideration all the challenges that we may have met when we arrived there. I guess even one of the first challenges that we had is that we arrived on the Jamboree site after midnight. So having some experience pitching tanks in, let's say, close to dark conditions worked well for us because we were able to get up the tanks within this reasonable time frame. And so the experience of doing activities here really strengthened us as when we got into South Korea. And it is a team effort. It is not only my one as a contingent leader. I had a great support network in Barbados while we were in Korea. So I must also give kudos to the support team in Barbados.
Well, thank you so much. I know this is definitely an experience that you will take through life. And speaking of wonderful experiences, you guys were able to share. There was a culture day, a day where you had to share more about Barbados. Tell me more about that. I know you were able to, through your troops, take down some nice treats from Barbados and things like that. So tell me more about how you felt about sharing Barbadian culture, because I know sometimes as Barbadians, you know, what we do, it comes so naturally because we do it every day. But to be able to share with other people around the world what's unique about us and what makes us Barbadian, that must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting to show the other people from other countries the snacks that we had. We had nut cakes, guava cakes, tamarind balls. To be honest, everybody enjoyed the guava cakes, but the nut cakes, I don't really think people really enjoy nut cakes as much as the guava cakes. But in all, it was actually a good experience because.
You mean guava cheese?
Right. Guava cheese. Guava cheese. But it was actually a good experience because we didn't expect as much people were going to be outside the campsite to come to visit our exhibit. So it was actually good, and Nikolai got a few good trades off of the people that were coming into the campsite, and I think it benefited the rest of the boys because they got to meet other people, because you don't really see people from France and Jamaica and people from Belgium and
all over the world, every single day.
Yeah.
Nikolai is waiting to jump in.
I was the person, me and Xavier actually set up the shop. So what happened is that we put everything on little plates in front of us, right? And like 20 minutes gone, and they already had to remove the tamarind balls because everybody just kept eating the tamarind balls. They wasn't there anymore. So we had some sugar cakes. I think the ginger was the favorite out of all of them. Ginger really went by fast, along with the tamarind balls again. But yeah, we got a lot of positive reviews on the sugar cakes, which surprised me personally because I didn't think people would like them. But yeah, we just set up a little stand and do we think.
All right, it must have been wonderful for you. I want to talk to you briefly. It must have been wonderful to share about Barbadian culture. Like I said, sometimes we don't think about the differences or similarities that we have with some people. What about sharing in other people's cultures? What are some of the things that you guys got to try that you really liked?
Well, we didn't, as far as the culture, we didn't really do much because there weren't really any other people in our area that were celebrating their culture too vividly. So we were only able to really experience the culture of the Belizeans who were in the same camp area as us. Now, the Belizeans roughly have somewhat the same culture of us. They love to dance. They have very good food as well. And
so you experienced the food?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
And they really, really like their spices. I remember that they had this lollipop. It was mango flavored, but it was covered in spice. It was really hot.
So you didn't like it?
It didn't taste bad, but it was just the spice almost set me off.
All right, pass the mic on. Okay, tell me about what you shared, or how you felt about sharing Barbadian culture, and possibly what you experienced that was new and exciting for you in terms of the culture exchange.
Well, it was good to share our snacks with other countries around the world, since they wouldn't really be able to have a trip to Barbados or come and see our island. But overall, it was good because it helped teach others about Barbados and how to other stuff about Barbados. In spite that, the Belizean spices were quite nice since it was hot and spicy because I like my pepper.
Spices?
Yes. One that I really liked was a hornet's sting. I think that was the name. Yes, it was the hardest out of them all, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I felt like you experienced some of the pepper there in your memory for a moment. Had to clear the throat. What about you?
We had a small offsite area called the Exhibition Center we went to, and we were able to try a traditional Moroccan tea that was displayed. It tasted very nice. And myself and everyone also got to try traditional Belgian snacks. It also tasted very nice, but there was this licorice candy that nearly took me out. I almost died on the spot, but it was fun.
Well, when you learn that when we take our culture into other places, you have to remember what we call certain things. So if it's called licorice candy, you probably shouldn't eat it. Hey, let me hear from your next door neighbor. Tell me about your experience.
The culture day was really exciting. Sergio and I did do some different venturing off, and the Belgian snacks, they were interesting. Sergio took one try in the licorice candy, so I did not. But the cultural day was it was a lot of fun learning about other cultures. And interestingly, we learned about Australia. So we would have learned about the difference between Australia and New Zealand, right? And the types of animals in Australia, the types of food they eat. So that was fun that day.
All right. Tell me about the cultural exchange. Did you tell me already? Well, next guys who didn't. There are so many of you, I'm losing track.
The culture experience, it was really fun. I really enjoyed the nighttime after we did the culture exhibition, because we had like a little party, because we were there to have fun as well as do other things. So that is the part I enjoyed the most. And you get to enjoy yourself with the Belizeans and the Vincentians and the Australians, which surprised me.
Yeah? That's good stuff. You're the only one. You carry the flag for the opening ceremony?
Yes, please.
Yes, I recognize your face. I saw the photographs. What was that like to be able to, carry the Barbados flag and represent for your country?
It was actually really fun, but it was fun until we went up on stage, because getting up on stage, I started getting a little nervous, but I had to do what I had to do for my country. So
yeah, at least you didn't drop the flag. That's what counts. Yeah? All right. Tell me. Cultural, the exchange, sharing our Barbadian culture and meeting new people and eating new things. Moroccan tea, they said, and Australian culture, a little bit about Belize. You guys are fancy now. So tell me.
But back to the Moroccan tea, it was actually good. Tasted like a tea from here, but I will not disclose the name. But other than that, the Belgian candy, it was interesting.
It was dark chocolate, most likely, yes?
Yeah.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're accustomed to milk chocolate here in this part of the world.
Yeah, a mix of that. The cultural presentation, it was good. I actually enjoyed it. It was actually more excited on hearing about Australia and New Zealand, because those are two countries that I often get mixed up with.
Yeah. The Aussies and the Kiwis.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. I want to thank you guys for coming in. Zarian Author, Kirsten Bradshaw, Devron Bino, Nikolai Downs, Xavier Edward, Sergio Jones, and Kamar Williams. This most certainly is an experience that you're going to take through life, and I'm happy that you were able to experience so many cultures, showing how important it is for young people to be able to participate in activities like this one, the Scouts, and how rounded it can help to make you. Now there's a comment on the screen. It says, congratulations to all the Scouts who traveled to Korea. Well done, gentlemen. We are very proud of you. You represented Barbados very well. So Thank you so much for sharing that on Facebook. So people are watching and they're impressed by you guys. I know you had a great time. And thank you again, Mr. Stephen Sobers, for your work in taking these young people to another country in the face of adversity and great challenges. You guys were able to hold it together and still ensure that they had a good time, of course, under the watchful eye of the authorities and other organizers who made it worthwhile. So thank you so much. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to remind Barbadians why they should get their sons involved with the scouting movement.
Okay, as you know, we are an organization that is over 100 years old. We have, basically to put it, we have done well. The organization has developed young men, and if you look at our Barbadian society, there are quite a few persons who would have come through the association, from Cubs to Scouts on to Venture Scouts. Some have moved on to leadership, and I would tell not only Scouting, but any youth organization that a male or even female as well can join, it will help them in their personal development and growth. So I encourage persons from the primary school level. You can join a CAPAC at the primary school. There are also at some schools where we have the beaver colonies as well. And when they move on from the primary school into the secondary school, they can continue their scouting life in scout troops. There are scout troops which are based at some of the secondary schools. Then also some open groups which are located around the island, either at churches or other locations. And you can then move on to venture scouting and on to leadership. So I encourage you to encourage your sons to join, parents, encourage your boys to join the Barbados Boy Scouts Association.
Now I know the next Jamboree is 4 years away. For people who might be interested, they want to get their children to get these immersive experiences outside of Barbados to be able to be exposed to so many cultures. What advice would you have for them to kind of get their young scouts ready to be a part of that Jamboree coming up in 4 years, whether they're just coming into the organization or whether they're already a part of it and getting ready for it? And I'm not sure, where is it going to be 4 years from now?
It will be in Poland in
Poland.
2027.
In Poland?
So the age, yes, Poland.
Polska, okay.
Right. Yeah. So the age range for World Jamboree is normally 13 to 17. So if you have someone who's now coming over from primary school into secondary school, they will be in that age range. Probably persons within who are second or third form now will also be in the age range for being a participant in the Jamboree. But it is not only limited to that age range. Over 17, there's also activity called the International Support Team, ISTs, which can be from a person in the Venture Scout age, which is like 750. Well, obviously, here in Barbados, we start our Venture Scout program 15 and a half or thereabouts. But anyone who is over the age of 17 up to leadership can participate in the IST program, which also gives you an opportunity to work alongside other NSOs, members of other NSOs, to give support to the Jamboree in various forms or fashions.
Now I know that Cabaret, they will be heading off to Antigua next year. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Cabaret is, as you mentioned, is destined for Antigua next year. At present, the local NSO, the Barbados NSO, is putting plans in place for that activity. Although the club section is not really my area of domain, but I have some limited knowledge of what is going on. So the local association is basically putting things in place to prepare a contingent for that upcoming Cabaret.
Oh, that's good stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Sobers. You guys truly had a summer that you won't forget. Stories for days that I'm sure you're sharing with all your friends and relatives. I know you shared it with the rest of Barbados as well. Congratulations. Thanks for representing Barbados well. You deserve a round of applause, and continue to share in those experiences as you go through life. Congratulations. All right, we're going to take a break here and come on back. Thanks so much to all the guys who came out and represented this morning. I know it probably wasn't easy getting up so early to come out, considering it's summer, and lots of them wanted to sleep in. Look at the faces. They're like, yeah. But of course, as scouts, with all these badges, I would like to ask what all these badges mean. I'll ask afterwards, and I'll share that maybe tomorrow. But I would imagine that you guys are accustomed to taking on challenges. So Scouts really gets them ready for life. Yeah? A great option for parents in moving forward for an extracurricular activity, especially if you have the little ones transitioning into secondary school. All right, so thanks again to everyone. We're going to take a break and come on back, so stay with us.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration.
All right, so we're still sharing stories of exceptional youth, as we love to do, sharing the positive things that young people are doing across Barbados. It's so often sometimes that we hear so much negativity going on, that stories like these, and having especially young men, you know, don't get upset for me saying that, but you know why, to hear about their successes and to share with us. Jaden Jordan is one such young man. He is the esteemed leader of the Alexandra Under-15 team. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good, boy.
I'm doing well, thank you. How do you feel to be the winners of the Barbados Royals Cricket Cup?
It feels great. It's an opportunity that I took and grabbed and around it. So it feels great to do that for the first time.
You must be pretty talented to be captain of the Alexandra squad. Tell me how you felt when you were first named captain.
I was surprised. Like, I expected it, but still didn't. I have to thank, honestly, my school coach, Ronaldo Paris, because if not for him, I wouldn't be in this situation right now. And if not for him, I wouldn't know how it would be to open batting for the school or to open batting in general. So with him being my coach and everything, it's just a big opportunity. And yeah.
All right, so you're a batsman. Are you also a bowler or?
Yeah, I also wicket keep also.
So you're a wicket keeper.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You definitely are doing a lot of things. Now you told me you started playing cricket from age 4. Who got you into cricket at age 4?
It probably started from school, from just playing at school. And I told my mom that I want to play cricket. She told me, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I tell her, "Yes, I want to play." So she made sure I got in a club. She made sure I got everything, and I started.
I know personally how expensive cricket gear can be.
Yeah, that's what she wanted me to make sure that
That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk to me about, how playing cricket makes you feel.
It made me feel it's my second home. Basically, when I'm on the pitch, that's my second home. So it's a home away from home. It's just whenever I'm at cricket, I'm just happy. It's just a game that I really love. So
Talk to me about your aspirations. Where you hoping that cricket takes you? I would imagine you want to be a part of the Barbados team, maybe the franchise teams, play for the CPL, the IPL, all that wonderful stuff. Of course, be able to wear the maroon for the Caribbean.
Yes, please.
All of these are your aspirations?
Yes, please. I would really love to play for Barbados CPL side, for the West Indies especially, and if I get an opportunity outside of Barbados, also grab it and go.
That's beautiful. I can see that you truly are passionate about your cricket.
Yes, please.
Yes. Are there any cricketers who you emulate, who you look up to, who you love to watch them play? I know for me, my nephews are always, particularly when they were younger, all through the house with a bat, shadow batting and shadow bowling. Is that what you're doing too, to annoy mommy?
Yeah.
Look at you. All right, so tell me, is there any player that you look up to, that you love to see play?
From young, I look at Jason Holder. Just how he led the side when he was captain, just a big inspiration to me. And that's what I want to do now as captain. What he did, led the side strong into a lot of wins, a lot of victories. So that's why I look at him.
How are you able to balance cricket with school life? Cricket can be pretty demanding. Often in season, you're playing a lot on the weekends, and sometimes out of season, there are games too. So how are you able to balance it?
It was tough. It is tough, but I have to do it, and I have to be able to continue to do it throughout my whole life. So it has to become a habit. It is, as I say, it's tough, but as school start back and stuff, practice and everything will start back in flow. Because as school start, practice starts in that era. So we have practice. Sometimes I only have 1 day a week to have to myself. So yeah.
Yeah, but you said cricket is home, so
it's true.
So you have, that's to you, to yourself as well.
So then I get home after 8 o'clock, I have to do my homework.
Yeah.
And then I go sit at 10. I have to wake up early for school. So
yeah. But it truly is a labor of love. It's what you love to do.
Yes.
Now, I know there are different forms of the game. These days, a lot of people are talking about the T10, there's T20, there's the tests. Is there any particular form of the game that you prefer?
Honestly, I like all formats of the game. As someone I love the game, I love all formats. If they ask me to play one, I would honestly play test cricket. But playing the Barbados Royals T10 Cup, it really showed me that I have the ability to play any format of the game. As when I batted, I was nervous going into bat. 10 overs, 60 balls. Tell myself, hey, we have to get runs. So honestly, thinking about just trying to hit the ball and trying to get runs, it was scary in a way that but it was an opportunity, I say, and I scored 28 and 23. And to score, to me, that was a big achievement to score 28 in a T10 game.
Absolutely, that's true. Now, you also captained the Mayor's Magicians to victory in the first T10 Royals Cricket Cup. Yeah? and you also you're the winners of your zone. Talk to me about the team. They must have been really excited. I don't know, the teachers and maybe your friends and some other students and parents. They must have been really excited about your performance too.
Yes, when the first game finished in the 10 game, like we were excited. We told ourselves we came here to win and we're gonna win this tournament for the first time. So
who did you go up against?
First game we played, I think it was Powell. No, it was Simons. Hemi last time, but it was Simons that we played. And then for the finals, we played Powell. So it was, the first game was easy, honestly. We scored 75 and we bought them out for 26.
Wow.
So, yes. Honestly, the first game was easy, but the second game was really challenging and it really showed us that the game, because it went in like, so they didn't want us to play in the lights, so it came down to, I think, 6 overs or 8, something, so it came down to that amount of overs. And we only find out playing game. We batted first, and me and the person that opened me, Rashad, we had 2 more overs to go, and the coach ran on and told me that you have 2 more overs because we didn't know, we thought that we had more overs to play. So he told us that we at least want 60, 70 runs. And we got there, we got the 21s that we wanted to get the 70, and we got the runs.
So you got 20 runs in the last 2 overs?
Yes, we did.
Good stuff. You guys are really shotting, man. You went to my former primary school, St. Stephen's, as well. So big ups to St. Stephen's.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and all the young people in Black Rock, who usually are the ones at St. Stephen's, doing fantastic things as well. Now, what intrigued me too is I see that you love fishing and cooking. Who taught you to cook?
My grandmother.
Granny?
My grandmother she always had me in kitchen from young. She taught me to bake, taught me to do everything.
You can bake?
Yes.
Well, look at this. What do you bake?
Kids, anything I
Have
go
you
in
made a
kitchen.
Sunday meal yet? Because you know you can really cook when you can make a Sunday meal.
Yeah.
So Granny has allowed you to make a Sunday meal?
Yes. Rice, chicken, pie.
And you can make all of that, Jaden?
Yes.
I'm going to have to pass by and taste this hand.
No problem.
Yeah, but congratulations to you. Jaden Jordan, student from Alexandra School, just 14 years old, and he captained the under-15 squad to victory in the Barbados Royals Cricket Cup. And you were also man of the match twice in the tournament.
Yes.
Yes, and that was for your exceptional performance. The young man is outstanding. He put in 110% in his game. My son looks up to him so much. Well done, Jaden. And that came from Miss Collins. You know who's Mr. Collins? Shane Collins. Yeah. So maybe a parent who plays with you.
Yeah.
Their child plays with you. So thank you so much for that comment and good stuff. It's great to see you're such a rounded young man. So you get out to do some fishing sometimes as well?
Yes.
Well, you have a lot going on.
Beach.
You love the beach.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Most of us from Black Rock do. You're out there fishing, you're playing cricket, you have school going on. That's all positive things.
Yes.
I want to commend you and keep on keeping on, all right?
Thank you.
I expect only great things from you. And someday, this might be the captain of the Barbados team, all right? Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. Jaden Jordan, another exceptional Barbadian youth. Congrats to the entire Alexandra squad. Hey, we're going to take a break and come on back and wrap today's show. Stay with us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's Thursday. That means it's also known as Q Day. Here in Barbados today, we'll be heading out to Thelma's Sports Bar, Riverland, St. Philip for another edition of Q in the Community. So make sure you come out for your serving of karaoke, music, dancing, food, drinks, and of course, great vibes. That's right, Riverland, St. Philip. Q in the Community is brought to you by Banks Beer, Deputy Beer, Guinness, Guinness Smooth, Glacial Ice, Hanchel Innes, Smirnoff Ice, Smirnoff Vodka, Johnny Walker, Black and White Whiskey, Barefoot Wines, Ryder Hard Wines, Pepsi, Juicy, White Rock Ginger Ale, and Soda Water, Flash Zone Bar, and Dasani Water. So see you at Q if you can't get on out to Thelma's Bar. Tune in to Q 100.7 FM because today is Q Day. Hey, make sure that you join us tomorrow back here on Morning Barbados. As you go through your day, remember to wear your smiles. Come on back to me tomorrow, all right? Have a great day today. See ya.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.